Hello and welcome to week 1 of our flexibility program. Today we will be focusing on Pincha. So when you're ready, we're going to come into our first pose, puppy pose. So the tailbone is pointing towards the sky, chest is down on the mat. If you want that extra little bit of flexibility, keep your chin on the mat, looking up towards your hands. If that's too much for you, keep your forehead down on the mat. Focusing on stretching out the chest here as well as the shoulders and the upper back. Now let's advance this by adding a tricep stretch. So bring the palms of the hands together and point the fingers towards the sky, coming into prayer puppy pose. This is again really great for the chest and the triceps and is perfect for training for our Pincha pose, as this is the position we're going to have with our arms. Now rising out of our puppy pose, shift forward into Sphinx pose on our forearms, hips are down on the ground. Sink the chest all the way down, take the arms behind us and interlace the fingers. We're just going to lift up into our locust pose. This is really going to help with that strength in the back, particularly the lower back. If you can, lift the legs up off the mat as well as the chest, keep the gaze ahead, keep that focus, keep that breath. Now lower the legs and the chest down to the mat. Let's take a bow pose. So reach back for our ankles. We're just going to lift the chest and the thighs up off the mat. Keep the gaze ahead. Open the chest, open the shoulders. Again, that back strength is really key for Pincha, and that's what we're working on in this pose. And now lower the chest and thighs down to the mat. Make your way up onto your sit bones when you're ready. We're just going to train our core slightly. Core strength is another key part of Pincha. There are many aspects to this pose, but core strength is one of them. So lift your feet up off the mat, keep the legs bent for now, arms out in front of you. Engage through the core by sucking the navel in towards the spine. Keep the chest nice and high, pointing slightly up. You can extend through the legs, pointing the toes, just to gain a little bit more strength in the core, challenging your balance here too. Now lower the legs down and make your way into a high kneeling position. When you meet me here, we're going to tuck the pelvis under and reach back for our heels. If that's too much for you in this camel pose, you can just place your hands on your lower back. This is really opening through the chest, through the shoulders and through the lower back as well. So it's a key pose for getting the flexibility needed for our Pincha. Tuck the chin into the chest, release the hands off the heels and sit back down onto your heels. Now we're going to make our way into our dolphin pose. Interlace our fingers on the mat, forearms on the mat, and come into a dolphin pose. Just going to shift our weight forward and backward to begin with, gaining that strength needed in our shoulders and in our arms. Working by shifting the weight so that we're getting used to putting all our weight onto our forearms, keeping the core engaged here as we do this. Keep shifting forward and back. Now lower the knees down. Let's go into our Pincha. So what we're going to do is we're going to place our forearms on the mat, elbows in line with the wrists, elbows stacked underneath the shoulders. Tuck the toes under and slowly walk your feet towards your body and then kick up to a wall. I'd like you to have a wall here just to begin with so you don't fall over. Gaze is down to the mat and we're keeping our fingertips splayed to get that big surface area engaged through the core. Slightly kick your feet up off the wall one at a time, or taking both if you've got that strength. If you want to go a little bit deeper into this pose, stretching out the chest, you can bend the legs, keeping the tiptoes on the wall, or you can slightly take them off if you've got that core strength. Again, just play around here. We've only got a couple more seconds in this pose. Maybe extend the legs out again and allow the hips to sink towards the wall, whatever feels good. Now one try, kick both feet up off the wall, get that balance, get that strength in the forearms, hold if you can, and then slowly we're going to lower down. Thank you for joining me. You did so well. I hope to see you again soon.